to be here and give a keynote speech. First of all, I wish to sincerely acknowledge Taiwan people to help and support the recovery from the catastrophic disturbance occurred in northeast Japan this March. Thank you very much. So, next please. As a forest ecologist, I'd like to talk about ecology and the utilization of Japanese cypresses. These are current contents of my talk. First, Chamaecyparis in the world. Second, Chamaecyparis in Japan. 3, forest stand dynamics. 4, regeneration ecology. 5, natural regeneration Chamaecyparis obtusa. 6, utilization of Chamaecyparis. 7, last one, conservation of Chamaecyparis forest in Japan. Next, please. As you may know, the conifer genus Chamaecyparis is forestry restricted. Being native only to areas within 250 kilometers of a marine forest. This is a typical characteristic of this genus. Next, please. The genus, which is distributed around the Pacific Basin and along the coast eastern North America, includes 7 taxa. 2 each in Japan and Taiwan, and 1 in eastern North America, 2 in west coast of North America. Next, please. In western North America, Lawsoniana grows in a variety of habitats, but has a very restricted geographical range. Next, please. This is the world's largest Lawsoniana. You can see here the man. Man is about 188 centimeters tall. So you can see the very big size Lawsoniana. Next, please. This spot shows an ancient old-growth Lawsonia forest in the US. We can see there was a giant Lawsonia forest in 1911. Next, please. These photos shows Lawsoniana tree planted by General Grant, a past president of the US, in the Ueno Park of Tokyo, Japan, when he and his wife came to Japan. At present, this tree is declining by unknown causes. This is an important issue to tackle. Next, please. Nootka-tensis has an extended latitudinal range. It's subalpine in the south, but descend to sea level in Alaska. In eastern North America, Thyroides occurs over wide latitudinal range and grows primarily in low elevation bogs, often at or near sea level. Next, please. As you know well, in Taiwan, Formosensis and Taiwanensis also overlap substantially in the high elevation mountain habitat. Formosensis is the largest conifer in Eastern Asia. Next, please. The big tree, which is gateway at the entrance to Shinto Shrine in Japan, is this is in the Meiji Jingu Shinto Shrine, Tokyo, Japan. This shrine is dedicated to the divine source of Emperor Meiji and his consort, Empress Shoken. Emperor Meiji passed away in 1912 and Empress Shoken in 1914. After their demise, people wished to commemorate their virtue and venerate them forever. The pillars of torii are made of Taiwan Chamaecyparis from Arisha. I sincerely acknowledge Taiwan people for their kind contribution. Next, please. There are two species of Chamaecyparis in Japan, Chamaecyparis obtusa and pisifera. Both grow in central Japan and southern Japan, generally in mountainous terrain and sometimes together, especially Kiso district in central Japan. Next, please. The distributional range of pisifera extends slightly further to the north than that of obtusa. These photos show the natural obtusa forest in the northern limit, Fukushima prefecture, now very famous prefecture in the world. Next, please. The altitudinal range of obtusa is 80 to 2,200 meters, and pisifera is. Obtusa ranges from warm temperate forests in the south to cool temperate forests and subalpine forests. Next, please. Within area of sympatry of obtusa and pisifera, obtusa is generally common on scenic sites and sites such as middle to upper slopes and ridge, where extensive pure stand occasionally develop. In many areas of the Kiso district, dense cover of sasa, which is dwarf bamboo, develops in the understory of obtusa stand. Next, please. In contrast, mesic or wet conditions characterize the habitat of pisifera. Stand of pisifera often develop in rocky depressions on lower slopes and near streams. Next, please. These species have scale-like foliage similar to that of other Chamaecyparis species. Next, please. They are similar in size. Chamaecyparis obtusa, which is reported to live for more than 1,000 years, is a near threatened species. Next, please. From now on, I'd like to focus on my talk on obtusa. These are points which I wish to discuss. The remaining natural obtusa forests are very small in area and fragmented. Second, Kiso district and the neighboring area, we say Ura Kiso district in central Japan is famous for its natural obtusa forest. Third, timber from obtusa has long been used as building building material for funeral castles, shrine, and temples because of their excellent quality and size. Now, I would like to introduce a representative natural obtusa forest in Japan. Aburagi Forest Reserve is one of representative natural obtusa forests in the Kiso and Ura-Kiso district. This reserve is located on the gentle slope of Mount Ontake. Next, please. This is a typical old growth obtusa stand in the Akasawa Forest Reserve. Next, please. These photos show old growth stands in the Mure Forest Reserve. Next, please. These photos show old growth obtusa stand in the Setogawa Forest Reserve, also in Kiso district. Next, please. Tsukechi Forest Reserve is a typical old growth obtusa forest located in Ura-Kiso district. Generally, tree size in the Tsukechi Forest Reserve is larger than in other forest reserve in Kiso district. Next, please. Largest obtusa tree for first generation, the second generation in the Tsukechi Forest Reserve, we can see that these are largest size obtusa tree. Next, please. This is also a large obtusa tree in Misaka, Misaka or Hinoki, near the Tsukechi district. The circumference at 722 centimeters, tree height 25 meters. But I think that very small compared to Formosensis. Next, please. Representative natural forests in other areas include Ichinomata Forest Reserve. This reserve is located in Shikoku Island of southwestern Japan. This is a warm, temperate, evergreen broadleaf forest mixed with large obtusa tree. Next, please. Shiragayama Forest Reserve is also located in Shikoku Island of southwestern Japan. Old growth stands in the reserve were subject to the heavy section cuttings in the Edo era. Next, please. In the reserve, there are many still-rooted canopy trees of obtusa. Next, please. On the top of Mount Shiragayama in the reserve, we can see dwarf state obtusa trees on rocky side. Next, please. Of these, sorry, how much time? Already. Okay. Of this, Akasawa Forest Reserve in the Kiso district is an excellent and representative Chamaecyparis forest dominated mainly by obtusa. General feature of the reserve. Next, please. All those Chamaecyparis stand in the Akasawa Forest Reserve, like other Chamaecyparis in the Kiso and Ura-Kiso district, are believed to have been established after severe cutting during the years 1688 to 1703, and therefore semi-natural forests. Since that period, most stands have been protected from clear cutting, so selective cuttings, mainly hardwoods, have been made for purpose of forest management. So the average stand age about 300 years, and most stands are considered to be mature and over mature. Next, please. Forest fire is rare, whereas typhoons are major natural disturbance. A powerful typhoon, the Ise-1 typhoon in 1959, severely disturbed the forest. Next, please. Most rainfall produced by past typhoon have been removed from the reserve for their economic value by forest manager. Next, please. For typical Chamaecyparis stands with circa 30-meter height were found in the Akasawa Forest Reserve. Stand obtusa was a pure obtusa stand with shrub understory, and may be the result of intensive selection cuttings for other canopy tree species in the past. Stand Senbondate was an almost pure obtusa stand with dense Cypresses, like suffix Asunara we said. One of pisifera trees. Stand Hirasawa has no history of selection cutting since the stand was established. Other stands have undergone recent selection cuttings, mainly for dead canopy trees. Stand Sawara was dominated by pisifera and hardwood trees. This stand is considered to be in a state of recovery from major disturbance by the powerful typhoon in 1959. Next, please. There were dense Cypresses saplings in the understory, and a few small fallen logs on the forest floor in the Hirasawa stand. Next, please. In order to predict the future status of natural Chamaecyparis forest in the Kiso and the Ura-Kiso districts, the dynamics of major conifer and deciduous broad-leaved tree species in an old-growth Chamaecyparis were more monitored using a stem mapping method over a 10-year period in a perfect permanent plot in the Akasawa Forest Reserve. Next, please. The plot was dominated by obtusa, followed by Cypresses Asunara and Chamaecyparis pisifera, Sawara, which are evergreen conifers, and Quercus mongolica, Magnolia ovovata, Betua grossa, mixed. Next, please. The stem size distribution of obtusa and pisifera in the plot was by more than 2 age more were about 50 and 300 years ago. Next, please. The recruitment and the mortality of some species are related to forest floor condition and canopy gaps. The obtusa for canopy gaps and pisifera rocky side are breathing. Stem mortality, this is the DDH class, and the stem density, and this red line show that the mortality, stem mortality was size dependent, which means that mortality of some species depend on the local density and site dependent. Next, please. Density of two Chamaecyparis, the red triangle show the obtusa, and the blue triangle show the pisifera. This is the recruitment rate and the mortality rate. This graph shows the gain rate and the loss rate. This result shows that the density of two Chamaecyparis was decreasing, but the total basal area was increasing in this stand. Both density and basal area of very, very interesting result we had. Deciduous broadleaf tree species were increasing. These results clearly indicate that this old growth forest has not yet reached an equilibrium state. Next, please. Natural disturbance is a major factor affecting forest structure and dynamics. The stands in the Akasawa Forest Reserve are no exception. They were affected by typhoons and rainstorms for a period of 23 years. From now on, canopy gaps will be formed by natural disturbances in the stand at the reserve, and the structure and the species composition of these stands will revert to a more natural state, such as is exemplified by this monitoring study. At present, this monitoring study is still continuing. Next, please. The reproduction of obtusa is almost exclusively sexual. Recruitment from seedlings is therefore important for its regeneration. The mortality of viable seeds from seed pod germination is generally high on forest floors with a thick littoral area. Forest floor disturbance is an important factor in decreasing the mortality of obtusa. There could be found an abundant obtusa seedlings and saplings on and around fallen logs in many areas in Japan. Mortality is lower on elevated surfaces such as decaying logs or rotten stand beneath the gap. Obtusa saplings rarely occur under closed canopy and are usually found only beneath the gap. Next, please. Canopy trees obtusa with root raised above the ground, we say slip-rooted tree, which may have established on stems can be found in some districts. Next, please. In an attempt to promote the regeneration of obtusa, a selection cutting experiment was conducted in the Akasawa Forest Reserve in 1984. The canopy trees was seen severely. The understory, which was composed mainly, as I said, Tsujoksu, blood saplings, were clear. And in some parts of this stand, soil disturbance exposed bare soil. Over the 24-year period after selection cuttings, frequent floor treatment, which is bush cuttings, were carried out. Next, please. By the end of this period, many obtusa seedlings were growing on the ground, but They were distributed non-uniformly and tended to plant near the bases of cat stems or pole branches. Many of these seedlings had established prior to the selection cutting. Therefore, at present, attempts to natural regeneration practice are not always successful. This is the important point I would like to stress. Next please. Timber of Chamaecyparis species, especially obtusa, has been used as building material, as I said, funeral castles, shrine, and temples from ancient times because of its excellent quality and size. Ise Grand Shrine, Ise Jingu, is the most famous Shinto shrine located in the city of Ise in Miyagi Prefecture in Japan. The shrine is constructed of obtusa timber from the Kiso or Ura Kiso district. The old shrine dismantled and a new one built on adjacent site to exacting specification every 20 years at exorbitant expense, so that the buildings will be forever new and forever ancient and original. The buildings dating back from 1993 had a 61st iteration to date and are scheduled for their building in 2013. Next please. These photos show that cutting ceremony for large-sized obtusa trees in the Akasawa Forest Reserve for the newly construction of Ise Jingu Shinto Shrine. Next please. Oryuji is a Buddhist temple in Nara Prefecture, Japan. The temple's pagoda, which is made of obtusa, is widely acknowledged to be one of the oldest wood buildings in the world. Next please. The Chumon, which means inner gate, has emphasis columns, which may be made from parts of large obtusa tree. We had a big, large obtusa tree in the ancient time. This is a very, very important result. Next please. Yakushiji, located in Nara, is one of the most famous ancient imperial and Buddhist temples in Japan. The East Tower is the only original 18th century structure at Yakushiji. It's made from obtusa woods and is regarded as one of the finest pagodas in Japan. The West Tower was rebuilt in 1981, and the main pier of the tower is made from large Chamaecyparis timber from Taiwan. Next, please. We would like to proceed the topic of Chamaecyparis pisifera. Next, please. Chamaecyparis pisifera reproduce both sexually and vegetatively. Next, please. Vegetative reproduction in pisifera occur by layering. The layered plants generally have a cushion-like form. Many new plants are produced by this process, depending on the number of branches. Next, please. Recruitment from seedlings of pisifera is generally ineffective. Next, please. New germinating seedlings can survive longer on elevated surfaces. such as fallen or decaying logs or local stems, although they suffer high mortality. Once established, pisifera can tolerate shade and survive on any substrate. This is a rock, very big rock. Layered plants under closed canopy grow and reach the canopy layer when a gap is created above them. Colonization by pisifera is most effective in rocky or stony sites and gaps. The tuber or pisifera is less varied than that of obtusa. The wood of pisifera is commonly used in the manufacture of wooden tabs for sushi and wooden base pairs. The wood and the leaves of pisifera may have sterilizing properties. Next, please. Chamaecyparis obtusa canopy trees approximately 300 years old in the Kiso and Ura-Kiso districts. Next, please. Clearly still growing in diameter. This is the cores of Chamaecyparis obtusa canopy trees, sampled at the Oxenbourne stand. Recent growth, we can see the still growing. Next, please. Therefore, obtusa will maintain its dominance potentially up to 1,000 years in old growth forests in the Kiso and the Ura-Kiso district. In the sketch forest reserve, 950 years old. This one is sampled in Akazawa Reserve, age is 270 years. I think this one is small Hinoki, I say Hinoki. Next, please. According to the stage of standard development, following major disturbances proposed by Oliver and Rawson, 1996, the old growth forest in the Kiso and Ura-Kiso district might be in the transition stage from the understory reinitiation stage to the old growth stage. The major disturbance in this case was clear cutting about 300 years ago. Next, please. The structure and species composition of these forests will become more diverse, and eventually they will revert to the late successional and diverse natural forests which existed before the Edo era, about 400 years ago, if the present situation continues. Next, please. The remaining natural and semi-natural obtusa forest should therefore be conserved by minimizing fragmentation and retaining the largest possible areas. Next, please. Obtusa is a near threatened species, and Chamaecyparis in general a closely restricted genus, whereas artificial plantation of obtusa covers up to 10% of total Japanese forest area. Next, please. Prohibiting deadfall logging of obtusa is critically important for enhancing the regeneration of obtusa. Next, please. This is the main conclusion of my talk. First, Chamaecyparis obtusa canopy trees, approximately 300 years old in the Kiso and Urakiso districts, are clearly still growing. Second, therefore, obtusa will maintain its dominance potentially up to 1,000 years in old growth stands of the reserve, while the structure and species composition of these stands will become more diverse, and eventually they will revert to the late succession and diverse natural forest which existed before the Edo era about 400 years ago, if the present situation continues. Third, the remaining natural and semi-natural Chamaecyparis obtusa forests should therefore be conserved by minimizing fragmentation and retaining the largest possible area. These are my conclusion of this talk. Next, please. Thank you very much for kind attention.